Last month, a viewer named Harold from Nova Scotia left a comment on my GIS video that genuinely stopped me. He wrote, Linda, I am 73 years old. I worked as a marine biologist for 30 years. I receive CPP, OAS, and GIS every month, and I budget carefully down to the last dollar. On August 1st, I opened my banking app expecting the same deposit I receive every month, and the number was different, not slightly different, meaningfully different. I called Service Canada and waited 44 minutes on hold. When someone finally answered, they told me multiple changes had taken effect on August 1st and tried to explain them, but I could not follow the explanation because I did not understand how the changes connected to each other. I hung up knowing something had changed, but still not knowing whether I had been shortchanged, whether the number was correct, or what I was supposed to do about it. Nobody sent me a clear explanation before August 1st arrived. Not Service Canada, not the CRA, nobody. That comment received over 1,000 replies from seniors in British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and New Brunswick, all describing the same experience. August 1st had arrived. Their deposit was different, and not one of them had received a personal explanation in advance of what was changing, why it was changing, and how the change would affect their specific CPP, OAS, and GIS amounts. Today, I am giving Harold and every senior watching exactly what Service Canada never sent: a clear, complete explanation of every important change August 1st brought, what each one means for your monthly income, and the one calculation that tells you immediately whether the number in your account is correct or whether something needs to be investigated. Before I walk you through every August change, one critical thing. The September CPP and OAS payment date is approaching, and Service Canada will not send you a personal explanation of how the August changes carry forward into your next deposit. Subscribe and turn on notifications right now so every time something this financially significant happens, you find out from this channel before the number in your account surprises you again. Now, let me show you exactly what August 1st brought and how it all connects. August 1st is not a random payment date. It is the first payment cycle after the July annual recalculation point, which is the single most important administrative event in the entire Canadian senior benefit calendar, because it is when GIS is reset for all eligible seniors based on prior year income, when quarterly OAS indexation takes effect, and when several other program updates that have been building since the start of the year become visible in actual deposits for the first time. According to Canada.ca and Service Canada published guidelines, the July recalculation uses net income from the prior year tax return processed by CRA and shared with Service Canada, and the result of that recalculation is what every eligible senior sees for the first time in their August deposit. According to Statistics Canada, over 6 million Canadians aged 65 and older receive some combination of CPP, OAS, and GIS, and all of them are affected by at least one of the August changes, regardless of their individual income situation. The reason most seniors cannot reconcile their August deposit without help is that multiple changes happen simultaneously and interact with each other through the same income figure in ways that produce a total result different from what any single change would suggest on its own. The first important change every Canadian senior needs to understand from August 1st is the annual GIS recalculation and what it means for the specific amount showing on your deposit this month. According to Canada.ca, quote, SGIS calculation guidelines, the guaranteed income supplement is recalculated every July using the net income figure from your most recently filed and processed tax return, and the recalculated amount first appears in the August payment. The maximum GIS for a single senior at the lowest income level is a confirmed monthly amount per Canada.ca, while the average recipient gets considerably less based on the 50-cent income reduction formula applied to CPP and any other non-OAS income. For seniors whose 2025 net income was lower than their 2024 net income, the August deposit reflects a higher GIS than they received in previous months. For seniors whose 2025 income was higher, the August deposit reflects a lower GIS, and in some cases, no GIS at all for the remainder of the current benefit year. The income changes most commonly producing a GIS reduction in August include a CPP increase from the ongoing enhancement, a larger mandatory RRIF withdrawal as the minimum percentage increased with age, a one-time income event in 2025, or the addition of a new income source. The income changes most commonly producing a GIS increase include the end of part-time employment, lower registered account withdrawals in 2025 compared to 2024, or the successful application of an income exclusion category that was not previously applied. Who sees the most dramatic GIS change in August includes seniors whose income situation shifted significantly between 2024 and 2025 in either direction. Who sees little or no GIS change includes seniors whose income was essentially identical in both years and whose filed return was processed well before the July recalculation deadline. The second important change in the August deposit is the quarterly OAS indexation increase that applies to every Canadian receiving OAS without exception, and that appears alongside whatever GIS change occurred from the recalculation. According to Canada.ca, quote, SOAS payment amounts page, OAS is reviewed and adjusted quarterly based on the Consumer Price Index under the Old Age Security Act, and the adjustment for the current quarter is reflected starting with the August payment. The maximum OAS for seniors aged 65 to 74 is a confirmed quarterly amount per Canada.ca, and for seniors aged 75 and over it is 10% higher due to the permanent enhancement legislated in July 2022 and indexed since. The average Canadian senior receives a prorated amount below the maximum, because the maximum applies only to those with 40 years of Canadian residency after 18, and most seniors receive a proportional amount based on their actual years of residence. Here is the insider knowledge moment most seniors have never heard clearly explained. The OAS quarterly increase in the August deposit does not reduce your GIS by a single dollar because OAS income is specifically excluded from the GIS income reduction formula. Every dollar your OAS increases from the quarterly indexation is a pure addition to your total monthly income with no offset in any other program. This is genuinely different from a CPP increase, which does reduce GIS by 50 cents per dollar through the formula. Understanding which income increases reduce GIS and which do not is the most important practical knowledge for managing your retirement income, and it explains why two seniors with the same total increase on paper can end up with very different net monthly income depending on which program the increase came from. Canadians who work with retirement financial planners already know this distinction and structure withdrawal and income strategies around it. Most Canadian seniors find out about it only when they try to reconcile an August deposit that does not add up the way they expected. The third change in the August deposit is the updated provincial supplement amount that flows from the GIS recalculation, and that for seniors in most Canadian provinces adjusts in closer alignment with the federal GIS change than it did under previous annual coordination schedules. According to provincial supplement information linked through Canada.ca, most provincial senior income supplements use the same net income figure as the federal GIS and are coordinated through Service Canada. Under the updated 2026 coordination protocol, the provincial supplement recalculates more frequently and in closer timing with the federal GIS, meaning the August deposit for seniors in most provinces reflects both the federal GIS recalculation and the provincial supplement adjustment simultaneously. For seniors in provinces where the supplement previously adjusted on a different schedule, this means the August deposit shows a combined change that is larger in either direction than they may have expected based on the federal GIS change alone. The maximum combined federal GIS and provincial supplement for a senior at the lowest income level is meaningfully higher than federal GIS alone. While the average senior receiving both finds, the provincial component represents a significant portion of their total monthly income. Who is most affected by the updated coordination includes seniors in provinces where the previous coordination schedule created a timing gap between the federal and provincial adjustments, because those seniors are now seeing both adjustments reflected in the same August deposit for the first time rather than in separate payment cycles. Now, here is the connection most coverage misses completely, and it is the reason Harold from Nova Scotia found himself hanging up the phone, still confused after a 44-minute hold. The GIS recalculation, the OAS quarterly increase, and the provincial supplement coordination update are not three separate changes to three separate deposits. They all appear in the same August payment at the same time, and they interact through the same net income figure and the same Service Canada file. Your GIS went up or down based on 2025 income. Your OAS went up by the indexation amount, regardless of your income. Your provincial supplement followed your GIS in the same direction under the updated coordination. And the net result in your August deposit is the sum of all three movements together, which can be higher than July, lower than July, or approximately the same, depending on which direction each component moved and by how much. Harold from Nova Scotia found, after understanding this, that his August deposit was lower than July because his GIS had dropped from a higher 2025 income. His provincial supplement had dropped by a corresponding amount under the new coordination protocol, and his OAS quarterly increase was not large enough to fully offset the combined GIS and supplement reduction. His total income had gone down, even though one component had gone up, and understanding why required seeing all three pieces together rather than one at a time. Harold logged into his My Service Canada account after our exchange and confirmed that each individual amount was correct, given his 2025 income and the current quarter indexation. The total was lower than July for legitimate reasons, not because of an error. Knowing the difference between a correct lower payment and an incorrect one gave Harold something he had not had before, which was confidence in his own retirement income calculation rather than confusion about a number he could not explain. So here are 3 steps you can complete this week. Step 1, log into your My Service Canada account at canada.ca/en/employment-social-development and view your current CPP, OAS, and GIS breakdown separately rather than looking only at the total. Identify which component changed from the previous month, by how much, and in which direction. Then log into your CRA My Account at canada.ca/en/revenue-agency and confirm the net income figure online. 23,600 of your most recent Notice of Assessment matches what Service Canada is using for your GIS calculation. If those two figures differ, call Service Canada at 1-800-277-9914 and ask specifically for a GIS income figure review before the September payment cycle runs. Step 2, calculate your expected net August change by taking your OAS quarterly increase as a pure addition, then identifying whether your GIS went up or down and by how much, then checking whether your provincial supplement moved in the same direction as your GIS under the updated coordination protocol. If your actual total deposit differs significantly from what these 3 components add up to, contact Service Canada and ask for a line-by-line explanation of your August payment calculation. Step 3, share this video with every person you know over 60 receiving CPP, OAS, or GIS, especially anyone who saw a different number in their August deposit and could not get a clear explanation of why from Service Canada, because understanding all three components of the August change together is the only way to know whether a different deposit amount reflects a correct recalculation or an error that needs to be corrected. One important warning. Scammers are calling Canadian seniors claiming the August payment changes resulted in money owed to them and that banking information or a processing fee is required to release the additional amount. This is a scam. Service Canada applies all payment changes automatically through your existing account with no unsolicited call and no fee required. The CRA will never demand immediate payment by phone or ask for gift cards. Hang up immediately and report it to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre at 1-888-49-58501. Have you already seen your August deposit, and does the total make sense to you now that you understand the three components driving the change? Or is there still a discrepancy you cannot explain even after breaking it down into GIS recalculation, OAS indexation, and provincial supplement adjustment? Drop your province in the comments because I want to understand which parts of Canada are seeing the largest combined August changes and whether seniors in certain provinces are experiencing bigger surprises from the updated provincial supplement coordination than seniors in other provinces where the coordination change had less visible impact. What we covered today is confirmed, and all of these August 1st changes are already reflected in your current deposit. More updates are scheduled before the end of 2026, and Service Canada will not send you a personal breakdown of how every change applies to your specific CPP, OAS, and GIS situation. Subscribe now so that information reaches you here before the next payment date arrives with a number you cannot immediately explain. You spent your entire working life contributing to this country. You earned every dollar of these benefits. Make sure you understand exactly what your August deposit reflects and why every component of it is the number it is. I am Canada Seniors Update, and I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.